Alright, welcome back to the SuperCoach Nuff channel. In this video, we're looking at our round 13 review. So the first sort of big buy round, which is why I guess 958 on the board there. Doesn't look impressive, but I mean, it was top 10% of the round. And as you can see, our season rank has pushed up 3,000 spots, so we're just outside the edge of the top 10k. So we'll have a look at the team and how it went. And so won 2 out of 2 leagues. Fantastic. Thanks, Colonel. So as you can see, Reece Robson with a 76. So, I guess in terms of the buy round hooker options, I think, yeah, that was one of the better ones. Um, I haven't had a chance to look at all the scores. It was a bit of a busy weekend, if I'm being honest. I say busy. I was out on the bowls green for most of it. But yeah, Joey Tarpany with the 82 and Wiremu Greg. So, we bought him in for this particular reason, hoping that he could get us some points during the buy rounds, being that Parramatta play the 3 big buy rounds. And for him to get over for a try and get 77 is absolutely immense. Yeah, very happy with that. Tohu Harris was our captain this week with the 62. In the end, probably not the best shout. But, I guess you can see our vice captain there wasn't too far away. Jackson Ford with a 46. So he's done our job for us. We just really wanted him to play through the first bye round. So he's one who could potentially move on this week. And Josh Schuster with a 50. So obviously, we're not expecting tons from him every week, but having him back in the team and playing has obviously helped us in this round and hopefully round 16 also. Lots of DNPs there. Obviously, we didn't play a halfback this week. So we did have Dylan Brown as our vice captain with 84. So obviously looping him was the correct option. But we obviously didn't take that path. Isaiah Katal with the 31. So, yeah, he's probably done his job too of getting us a few bonus points in the round 13. So he's probably the other one we want to look at moving on. No, excuse me there. So Jermaine Osako, so a nice even 100. So he was one of the trades I brought in this week. So there was him. There was Kalen Ponga. I think it was just the 2 trades, wasn't it? Yeah, just those 2 in. So, obviously Osako doing the business. He's averaging 78 for the year. So I know there was a comment after the game about, yeah, you're going to keep Osako. I think I have to. I think I have to admit that, he is a keeper option. Um, yeah, so I've got him in now, so there's no point stressing too much about it. Ruben Garrick with a 55, so solid from Ruben. 62 from Lamu and 94 from Nickel Clockstad. So we talk about his work rate, and that's why he's been picked in the side to start the season. He's just always in around it. Just needs a sniff of attacking opportunity, and the points will come. So really glad they came for us this round as well. And as you can see, Kalen Ponga, our other trading for this week with the 77, so that's a really good return based on, the fact that we did trade him in for Turbo, looking for some cash and points, and, we've got a bit of both. So in terms of our trades this week, I'm leaning towards Katoa out and Ford out. And we have sort of realised last week that if we bring Schuster in to the 5'8" slot or Ponga, we're not actually going to have a 5'8" this week. So I think Manu's going to be the one that moves in to that 5'8" slot. So we have a playing 5'8" this week. Well, let's hope so anyway, given that he is currently injured or supposedly injured. But as we've talked about, I think for a little while now, I'll find him eventually. We were targeting to bring in Kiraz this round because he'll cover the round 16 and 19 buy, but also his price is pretty well bottomed out if we have a look. Break even at 52. The Bulldogs coming off the break will be relatively fresh. Obviously, playing the Roosters, it'll be quite fresh as well. Where are they playing? Industry Group, so I have no idea where that is. I'll find out this week, no doubt. So we'll bring Kiraz in. And then our other raid. Don't know what we were going to do with this one exactly, if I'm being honest. Originally, the plan was to target Tavita Pangai, but now that he's involved in the New South Wales squad, I don't think that's a valid play anymore. So we might have to go a bit through the list. Oh, we can afford Max King. That's interesting. He's obviously dipped in price a bit. 533k. And, I guess we already have that sort of front row, second row swing open, so it's not the biggest concern. I mean, the other option is that we push, say, Peachy back into the second row, and we can look at some centres around that price also. But I'm not sure who I want from here either, other than Kraz, obviously. Maybe I should filter by price. Players I can afford. That would help. Nothing really jumps out here as must buy. So what if I swing Peachy back in the second row? We could get Murray back in. His price has probably bottomed out, has it? Yeah, pretty much. See how he pulled up post Origin, I suppose. Yeah, we could go King. After that, not too sure. Is there any cheapy options that I'm clearly missing? Ockenbaugh, -21. No, thank you. We're in the centre wing. Moga. Tafaro, well, if he got named to start, you'd have to plug him in, even though he's got that 4 and he's rolling average, wouldn't you? Is that 200k? Maybe not. Lots of zeros there. Yeah, it doesn't appear to be too many obvious picks. I guess the other option too that I haven't considered is if we go all the way to the front row. And we've got Harry Edwards, so Royce Hunt. I mean, Sharks do have good buy coverage as well, but don't think so. Harpenny back. Guess we could always explore 5/8 options as well, but I wasn't expecting too much. How much is he's probably out of the price range, but where's Birdo? Can't even find him on the list. Oh, I can't afford him, obviously. That's the issue. That's why he's not on the list. Rookie error. Might have to wait and see how the teams shape up. I guess the other option really is if we reset. We can just do the one trade. I think Katoa to Kiraz is the number one priority. We could potentially hang on to forward a little bit longer. So I might just do that anyway, just to keep moving in the record. So in terms of how we'll line up this week, obviously Greg and Haas are going to swap. Bring Fafita in for Schuster. Ford can go to the bench. No, excuse me there. So as you can see, we've obviously got. Oh, didn't mean to click that. Wanted to reserve him. Fuller will start. Garrick and Kiraz. And we'll last reserve on Preston. So we got a pretty solid 17 for this week, even with just that one trade. So Robson and Grant playing and hooker. Obviously, Grant will be dependent on him backing up from Origin, which I'd imagine he would not be in a 80-minute player. Probably play 50 minutes off the bench, but or 60 at most. Oh, excuse me there. Haas again, back up from Origin, but he usually just plays big minutes all the time. So we're not too worried about him topping his suites. We've got Harry Edwards if we need to. Fafita, if he backs up from Origin, but I'm pretty sure. Well, actually, I say that. I think he might have been named to start. But obviously, we'll wait and see on that. The Titans play Saturday Arvo, so yeah, 3-day turnaround should be fine. Nick Harris, no problems. Preston, no worries. We've got Ford there as well, so we've got a couple of backups if we these guys don't get up after Origin. You'd imagine Hines and Cleary would be sweet to back up. But, Penrith playing the Dragons might be a chance, but I don't think Penrith will be too complacent given their slightly sluggish start to the year. We haven't got Dylan Brown. I've got to swap that. So we do need another reserve. Almost let that one get past with the blue there. Probably Jackson Ford, wouldn't it? Just take the base. Yep, so Osaka, Lemuelu, Nico Klokstad, and Kiraz, plus Garrick, 5 decent keeper options there in the centre wing. Plus also Joey Manu once we sort of get our second 5'8". So plenty of centre wing options there. We can also sort of do a 3-way swing sort of thing if we need to trade around with Ponga involved too. But yeah, Buller and Ponga, obviously the plays next week to bring back Turbo may involve, like I said, that 3-player swing. Mine will end up back here. Ponga might just sit now 5'8" slot for a bit to make his cash as well. So yeah, the squad's shaping up pretty well. But in terms of vice captain and captain this week, so I guess the Sharks against the Broncos. Yeah, I guess it's a bit of a interesting one, but I think Clear is the obvious captain choice against the Dragons. Sunday late game, most chance of backing up. So then our vice captain option. I mean, yeah, look at the Saturday. I don't think we can go any later than the Saturday games. We don't have a lot of sort of attacking upside options there. So I think maybe we've got to put the C on Osako, which is something I would never have thought I would have done at the start of the season. But yeah, against the Warriors over in New Zealand. Um, yeah, not the easiest game, but the fact it's a day game does open itself up to more attacking footy. Could go nickel clock start, I suppose, if I think the Warriors will do a number on the Dolphins, but I think it'll be a fairly tight game. Like I said, it's probably just the best option of what's available. The other one is I could go for feeder against South actually. Yeah, I might do that. Yeah, obviously if you could have Hines and Cleary, that'd be perfect, but it doesn't work like that. Excuse me. So as you can see, it's literally just opened up. Might just have a quick look at the scores to see if I missed anyone obvious. Matches. So Dolphins 26-12. So Jacob Little 110. That's very interesting. I guess with the new coaching regime, might be a nice little cheap shout at 370k. Definitely something to consider in the stock market video this week. Marshall King, solid as ever, 89. Milford, surprisingly getting some points, but that's all right. We're getting out of the Dolphins halves trades, I think. Nick Kareem with 46 would have been popular option, perhaps. Jack DeBellum 54 is solid, but yeah, other than that, not too much stands out. Eels, so Moses and Gutho scoring well, which is nice for those that bought in. Hopgood solid as ever. Hardy, yeah, nice. 64, that's nice. Scotty Drinkwater with 117. So, yeah, those that brought him in instead of Ponga because of his availability this week would be cheering. Lukey with an 87, so those that went on him a few weeks ago, getting another nice little bump in price. Cole Felt, 97, that's a decent return. Was he kicking goals, perhaps? Not that they scored many tries, but no, not him anyway. Darby with 42, so yeah, if you went him as that cash out enough option, that's a nice return. Labert with the 26, yeah, was second best, but yeah, Derby was the one to go there. What do we got? Warriors, so Fennell Blake carving up as per usual, 76. Other than that, not too many high scores. That's interesting. Sailor with 48 on debut, so yeah, if you got him in as a bottom dollar option, that's all right. But I don't think he'll get another game, unfortunately. Metcalf with 35 on his first game back, so he might be one to watch. Wouldn't bring him in this week though. All right, well, Rabbitohs and the Raiders. So Corey Horsburgh with the 99. That's excellent from Big Red. I think he scored 2 tries, didn't he? He got one for sure. Yeah, one try and a try contribution. Fantastic. Albert Hopewadi with a 114 though. That's big effort. And Isaiah Tass, he was one that was at the price range I could afford. And bring in. Obviously went to Sarko, so I didn't miss out too much on points, but that's a really nice return. Cook with a 72, so everyone bringing him in, they'll be happy with that. AJ got a try, so he's scored all right. Ray Walker, as always. And then after that, I think the rest is all pretty standard. Jared Croker with the 65, so that's a nice little bump for those that held him through round 13. All right, and then the last game. So Greg Marzu, what a beast. What was his stats? 3 tries, that'll help. 11 tackle busts. Wow. Big effort from the big fella. I'll get his full stat line up here. It's easy to navigate. So 3 tries, 11 tackle busts, so 3 line breaks. Beautiful. 29 runs. Yeah, would have been a good hold. He'd be back up to his price when he peaked last time around. But no, we made the moves we made. No point looking back. All right, so yeah, I don't think we need to cover too much else. I think maybe I got really excited about Greg Marzu and didn't look at the rest of that game, to be honest. I know that's my team. Have a little meltdown. So, well, so Toff Sipley and Paseka scoring well for Manly. I think, yeah, Paseka was one I pointed out might be useful to have, 38 tackles. Um, yeah, so that's good buy coverage. Sean Kepi scoring okay there too, just noticed. For those that held him. Phoenix Crossland with 77, so those that have held him in the 5'8" spot, perhaps, that's a nice return. And I guess maybe one disappointing one there too, Lockie Fitzgibbon with the 34. Um, yeah, that's not what you want from someone his price that you held for this round. But I guess they're not always going to all be winners. All right. So yeah, so I guess we've looked at the team for this week. Like I said, there's nothing too obvious there that we missed out on. Other than it would be nice to still have Marzu in the side, but as we've talked about, we're well covered at centre wing. Yeah, I mean, when we look at the team, it's really just going to be we want Tommy Turbo back in the fullback slot, and then after that, I think it's really only looking at upgrading a couple of our second row options like Ford and maybe Preston, and we've got a pretty decent side for the run home. So again, this might be the time of actually we should look forward to round 16 too, trying to preserve some trades for buys. But at the moment, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, not those guys. I just realised I counted Grant too. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So currently 14. We only need 13. So, I mean, if we don't make another trade for a few weeks, injuries pending and all that sort of stuff, we could really set ourselves up for a good run into the back end of the season. But this has probably gone a bit longer than I expected, so we will wrap it up there. If you've got any thoughts on the team, how it's shaping up, or you've got any uh, burning questions around your team, feel free to throw in some comments. I had a lot of comments on the last couple of videos. It's been really good interacting with people about it. Very close to 50 subscribers as well, which is pretty cool. So if you haven't yet done so, please subscribe to the channel, like the videos that you do enjoy. Just it helps us to work out where to focus the energy going forward. But other than that, as always, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.